In the last video, we were introduced to memory addresses and pointers, and today we're going to see how we can use them to pass by reference. Every time we've passed a variable through a function so far this series, we've been passing by value, not by reference. Now you might be a little bit confused exactly what this meant, so let's go ahead and make a new function right now. We'll make a function. I shouldn't call it a new function because it's just going to be any ordinary function that we've seen throughout this series. We'll write pass by value because that's what we're going to be doing, and we'll put integer x as a parameter. You know, nothing crazy here. And inside we'll just write that the integer x has been assigned the value of 7, which means if I pass something through here, inside the function, it's actually going to be acting as a 7. So if I go ahead and I could prototype it by writing void pass by value, integer x, up here, prototype it so it can be used inside the main. I go inside the main here, and now I can use it by just writing pass by value, and I can pick one of our two variables I have here. So I'm going to pick the lemming variable, and I'll pass it through right here. Now this means that inside here, this function, lemming is now a 7. What if I were to go and print out lemming after here? What if I were to go ahead and print out the variable lemming on the screen? What value do you think it's going to give me? Do you think it's going to give me the 5 that I wrote up here? Or do you think that the fact that we passed this variable lemming through this function, which said that the integer x, lemming acting as the x, will be assigned a value of 7, do you think that lemming is now 7 and lemming forever will be 7? Well, we'll think about it for a moment, and now we're going to go ahead and we can go ahead and actually build it. And we're going to take a look and see what happens. Are we going to get a 7 or are we going to get a 5? We get a 5. This means that although this function set the lemming variable to 7, it's actually not going to stay like that forever, and the true value of lemming is still 5. The reason is what we've been doing so far, passing by value, allows us to pass a copy of the variable through the function. So this is not the true lemming variable, this is a copy of the lemming variable. Now, learning about memory addresses and pointers will allow us to pass by reference, which means we're actually going to be passing the true variable itself, which means anything that's in a function that is passing by reference and any modifications that function chooses to make will affect the variable itself. So whenever you use that variable later on in the program, it is no longer going to be equal to 5 or assigned a value of 5 like we see on screen. It will actually take the changes that function gives it. And we're going to do this with passing by reference. So let's go ahead and do that right down here. I'm going to write void again, and we're going to be passing by reference. I'll write it like that. And we're going to be passing the pointer of x through this one. So rather than passing x, we're passing the pointer of x, which is going to point to the memory address of whatever variable you pass through. And we can go ahead and put the pointer of x is assigned the value of 5. Now remember, pointer, we put the asterisk before the variable, so we have it like that. Now we're going to go up here, and we're going to go and prototype, as usual, pass by ref, and we'll be putting integer of the pointer of x just like that. Now if we're going into our main, and we're going to go and pass the turtle variable through this one, we'll go ahead and pass by ref. Now we're actually going to need to write the memory address of turtle. We can't just go and write turtle. If we went and put turtle inside here, you're going to see that we're going to get an error. We'll see the error pops up right here. You can't do that. You have to put the memory address of turtle. Now you don't do this with the asterisk. The asterisk is for the pointer. It's when you want to make a variable that will point to the memory address of something. So we're going to put the memory address with the ampersand. So put 1 ampersand right before turtle. And right here you'll see that now if I were to go and print out turtle, we'll see that turtle is no longer going to be 5. It's actually going to take on the value that the function gives it to, or any modifications that the function were to give it to him. Because it is passing by reference, it's actually going to be a permanent change, and from now on, whenever you use turtle, it is no longer going to be equal to 5, it is going to be equal to 7. So we see right here we have passed by value with the variable lemming. We passed a copy of the variable lemming through the pass by value function. It is set it to 7, but that is only going to be acting inside of this function here. So if we were to have more things going on inside this function, then it would use that copy value of 7. But as soon as we leave that function, we're no longer keeping that, because we're going to be calling upon the true value of lemming when we call to print it out. Now the true value of the variable lemming is going to be 5. However, turtle is being passed by reference. It is being pointed to here by the pointer. It's pointing to the memory address of turtle, which is indicated by the ampersand turtle. And now it has actually gone in and changed the true value of turtle to whatever the function wanted it to do. In this case, set it to 7. And in that case, whenever we use turtle, we're going to get 7 instead of the 5. Hope you guys understood this. It is complicated. It's something different. So if you have any questions on it, leave it in the comments below and I will answer as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be looking at some more things with pointers coming up in the next video.